The Marikana Commission needed a whole series of background information in respect of Lonmin. Based on the research and information that we had done for benchmarks on Lonmin, they approached us to look at their financial position vis-a-vis the demands that workers were making. In relation to our role with AMCU, we're providing technical assistance to AMCU in respect of the numbers, trying to look at the different wage offers that have been made and look at what implications that they have for reaching 12,500 over 4 years, as the demand currently is. We were formed in 1996. At that time, we were in the process of implementing the Reconstruction and Development Program, and as a research institute, an advocacy institute, we're looking at how we could deepen the process of democracy in this country and ensure sustainable development. Since then, we've been involved in several campaigns, if you like, particularly giving research information to those that were contesting the macroeconomic policies that were being followed by the government. We were able to do research on South Africa's internal debt, which pointed out that a large part of that debt was owed to the public investment commissioners, in other words, to government employees' pension fund. And there we were being able to provide Trevor Manuel with easy solutions to get out of that so-called debt crisis, which could have liberated billions of rands for development. Unfortunately, they didn't take that option, and that indicated to us that the particular trajectory of the South African government's economic policies, which were largely driven by the interests of big corporations. And that's what we've been putting forward, and now AIDC works around developing what we call a wage-led sustainable growth path or development path as an alternative to the current path that's been followed. We don't overstep our mandate and role. AMCU requires us and our intervention in a particular way, and we try to give that as best as we can. We have no interest in extending the strike at all. We would like to see a settlement as soon as possible, but of course, given our overall economic policy perspective, we want to see a living wage for all workers in this country. AIDC is going to be sitting with AMCU shortly to look at and analyze the perspective, the current proposal, look at what it means. For example, you have different sectors inside the workforce. So you have those that receive a living out allowance who are not in the hostels. You have 17,000 or so workers who have no living out allowance. So all of these have big implications. You have some which have a home owner's bond allowance. So it's very complex, and so you need some technical capacity, which AMCU, by the way, has a lot of. And I should also emphasize what has extremely impressed me being part of the discussions with them is just how loyal they are to the mandate they receive from their workers. And I think it's important to put on record that the media, which has looked at Matunjwa and his lifestyle and says, it's just intimidation that is keeping workers out on strike, and he's coining it whilst workers are suffering. I find quite the opposite. I find somebody who is very, very committed to responding to what workers have been demanding. And whereas we might be sometimes pushing and saying, look, AMCU, what about a proposal like this? They will say, but this is not inside our mandate. And it's not to say that they don't change, that workers can't change their mandate, and they go back to workers and ask them, would you consider such an offer? Would you consider us changing our mandate? And there's this very strong loyalty to seeking that mandate from their members.